How many times a week do you go to the same place, the same bakery, the same supermarket, the same gym? Have you ever stopped to think about how many people share exactly the same routine as you, without you ever noticing? Marina, 28 years old, an English teacher, went to the same coffee shop every morning for 2 years, same time, same order, every single day. She believed she knew that place like the back of her hand. But there was something, or rather, someone she hadn't noticed. Someone who knew every detail of her routine far better than she imagined. This is a real story about how invisible patterns can turn into dangerous situations. A story about silent observation, and about how, sometimes, being predictable can cost you far more than you think. Welcome to Observed. Before we begin, an important warning. This episode contains descriptions of stalking and harassment that may be disturbing to some viewers. The goal here is educational, to reveal warning signs we often ignore and explain how to protect ourselves. If you or someone you know is experiencing something similar, resources for help will be shared at the end of this video. Marina lived in São Paulo, in the Pinheiros neighborhood. She worked at a language school and, like millions of people, followed a very structured routine. She woke up at 6:30 a.m., left home at 7:15, and always stopped at the same cafe at Tidan Sensuufin, AM medium coffee, no sugar, 1 cheese bread, Monday to Friday, no exceptions. She liked the predictability. She said starting her day that way, in that cozy place, made everything feel lighter. The staff knew her by name. She even had her favorite table, right by the window. What Marina didn't know was that this comforting routine had become a map someone had been studying for months. Here's something crucial about surveillance. It rarely starts in an obvious way. It's not like the movies, with a suspicious man in dark glasses clearly following you. Real observation is subtle, patient, almost polite on the surface. Marina began to notice, if we can even call it that, a man who also frequented the cafe. She saw him there too, maybe 3 times a week. Never sitting too close, always discreet. He ordered coffee, worked on his laptop, then left. Nothing strange, right? It was a public cafe. Dozens of people passed through every day. But here was the first sign Marina missed: frequency. She didn't realize that for the past 8 weeks, that man had been there on the exact same days as her. Not randomly, not occasionally. Every time Marina was there, so was he. Monday he was there. Tuesday he was there. Thursday he was there. And he always arrived 5 minutes after her. Always. The first time Marina felt something was wrong was on a Wednesday in March. That day, she changed her routine. She woke up earlier to go to the gym before work and stopped by the cafe at 6:45 a.m., nearly an hour earlier than usual. The place was nearly empty, just 3 people inside. She ordered her coffee and sat at a different table, far from the window. And then, he walked in, the man with the laptop. At 6:50 a.m., almost an hour earlier than she had ever seen him before. Marina felt a tightness in her chest, an uncomfortable feeling she immediately tried to rationalize. Maybe he changed his routine today too. Coincidence. But something inside her had been triggered. She started paying attention, not paranoidally, just consciously. That's when she noticed the details. He never looked directly at her, but he always chose a seat with a clear angle toward where she was sitting. He worked on his laptop, yes, but the screen was always positioned so she couldn't see it. And more disturbing than that, he never left before her. Not once. Marina would finish her coffee, check her phone, grab her bag, and leave. And every time she did, he stayed, until she walked out. Over the next 2 weeks, Marina decided to test her suspicions. She skipped the cafe for 2 days and went straight to work. When she returned on the third day, he wasn't there. But on the following day, he was. She deliberately changed tables, choosing a corner with her back to the entrance. He walked in, looked around, and for the first time, Marina clearly saw him searching. Then he sat behind her, positioned so he could see her reflection in the side window. One morning, she left early, half her coffee untouched. She grabbed her bag and walked out quickly. As she passed the window from outside, she looked in. He was staring at the door, waiting, and the moment he realized she had left, he closed his laptop and stood up immediately. That's when Marina felt real fear. She told a co-worker, Julia, about everything. Julia suggested changing cafes, just to be safe. Marina agreed. The following Monday, Marina went to a different cafe, 3 blocks away. Same time as usual. She ordered her coffee and sat down. 15 minutes passed, 20 minutes, nothing. She felt relief. Maybe I'm overreacting, she thought. But on Tuesday, when she entered the new cafe at Tidansenshawofen, he was already there, sitting, laptop open, as if he had been waiting. And this time, when their eyes met for just a second, he smiled. Marina left immediately, heart racing, hands shaking. She didn't go to work that day. She went straight home and locked the door. Now she was sure. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't paranoia. She was being watched, followed, and that smile was intentional. A message: I know where you go. I know what you do, and you can't avoid me. Marina did what she should have done weeks earlier. She filed a police report. She didn't know his name. She had no direct confrontation, but she had photos discreetly taken and detailed notes documenting dates, times, and patterns. The police took it seriously. Security footage from both cafes revealed something chilling. He wasn't just at the cafes. Street cameras showed him walking the same sidewalks Marina used, often about 20 meters behind her. He had been seen near the school where she worked, at least 3 times, and the most disturbing discovery of all, on 2 occasions, he had been standing in front of Marina's apartment building, just watching. For several minutes, he knew where she lived. With the footage, police identified the man, Rodrigo, 35 years old, IT analyst, no criminal record. He lived 12 blocks from Marina. Confronted with the evidence, he confessed. He said he had become interested in Marina months earlier, that he found her interesting, that he just wanted to get to know her better before approaching her. Rodrigo was issued a restraining order. He was prohibited from approaching Marina, her workplace, or coming within 500 meters of her home. Any violation would result in immediate arrest. 2 weeks later, Marina moved. She changed her address, her schedule, her habits. She stopped being predictable. To this day, she doesn't know when the observation truly began. Weeks, months, years. How many times he had been near her without her ever realizing. And that's the most terrifying part. Marina's story is not unique. According to a 2023 national survey, 1 in 4 women has experienced stalking. And in most cases, victims take weeks or months to recognize what's happening. Why? Because observation is silent. It hides inside normality. So, let's talk about the warning signs Marina ignored, and you shouldn't. Repeated coincidences, observer behavior, presence without interaction, knowledge you never shared. If you suspect you're being watched, document everything. Break your routine immediately. Tell people you trust. Report it. Trust your instincts. That uneasy feeling exists for a reason. If this video made you rethink a coincidence in your own life, then it has done its job. Personal safety isn't paranoia. It's awareness. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, if you're paying attention, you're already part of the story.